Get it out, spit it out, get it out. That's on my mom and them. Get it out, spit it out, get it out. That's on my mom and them. Get it out, spit it out, get it out. That's on my mom and them. Get it out, spit it out, get it out. Rowdy thinking shit straight. 20 y'all won't hit brain. Got so much resentment in my chest. I make this bitch shake.
Welcome back. It's the attack of the Koopa, and today we are dead, as I love to be. And we're jumping into the end of version 3. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but I do it sometimes. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of the superpower of friendship. Sorry to be a boring Saturday morning cartoon bullshit, I promise. But essentially that's the topic of today. I hope it's not too obvious, but we're gonna be coming back. And it's because of these wonderful people here, guys. And what I want to tell to you, that is a lesson that I had to learn the hard way, is something that I can relate to the healthcare system of America, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I'm the Koopa, I'm the Mark, this is Solo Quest. Welcome in, I hope you enjoyed, enjoy these videos, these little intros, little music. I like to do them every day, so stick along. We're completing version 5 by next year, early next year, hopefully March is when we have it done. So stay tuned for that, and I want you to jump right into this. So the story spoilers for today just hold this little section here where we're all sad and we don't know how we're going to revive him, and then the gods come, and they actually are residing within all of the royalty, like the royalty vessels, or the ancestors of essentially these gods. And they'll use those ancestors to sort of bring my will back, but then that that unlocks a little bit of a thing, a little bit of a distraction for the evil guys to be able to take the core of creation. And once you got that core, you can create anything. So what's happening there. We'll go to the final dungeon and get rid of this asshole once and for good once that happens. But I don't think we'll do all that this episode. We'll probably just vibe on a little bit of the cutscene and the ambition here. But yeah, let me jump into my topics, my little ramble on. I've got enough of the gameplay here. Nobody cares about this damn game, obviously. But essentially what I want to talk about is friendship, because these are all our wonderful friends, companions. We literally just rescued them a couple episodes back, and throughout this whole basically playthrough, a little bit of the version 1 and version 3 as well, we've been traveling along with these guys, building rapport, developing things. And yeah, what happens when one of the friend group dies off, or jumps out, or leaves it all, puts it all on the table. And essentially I don't think it really matters what the context is in this situation. It can definitely relate to real life. But anyone who leaves the friend group who you feel like was just like the glue, and it happens quite often. I've noticed with, I don't know, generally people who, I don't want to say this like in a bad way, but just take people for granted. They don't realize how good they have it until it's gone. And like most people, that's the way most good things are. Like, I really try to take a step back and every day just really be grateful. Like, holy shit, I'm playing a game from Japan that I should not be playing. I'm very glad, I'm very grateful. And just the smaller things too, like I got a roof over my head, I have a car that I hardly ever want to drive. My Nintendo Switch still works somehow. I'll show you guys a picture of this one day. I'll probably post it on YouTube too. This Nintendo Switch that I've had since 2017, it has been through hell and back, and I swear the Nintendonium is rolling strong. I don't know if they made the Switch 2 with it. I will never find out, because fuck the Switch 2. But yeah, it's holding on with like toothpicks and ice cream, and I'm very sad because Nintendo also upped the price for the Switch now. So hopefully they'll drop it back down so that I can buy another one. But I definitely should have gotten in on the cutting room floor for that before Nintendo decided to be even more bitches. But no, fuck me, right? How what an idiot for me thinking that the Switch 1 would go down in price. Like what an idiot I was, right? Anyways, moving off topic. Guys, what we should notice about these times when our friends just randomly leave and randomly dip out of the friend group for no apparent reason. And this is for both sides, guys. Whenever there's a super long silence of friendship, of course, things will change. Of course, life will go on. I mean, unless somebody dies or whatever, which is still a change, but what you have to remember is that just like, the healthcare system, if they don't talk to you and they don't contact you, that is a good thing. And this took me a long time to realize, man. This took me a long time to realize. The silence is golden when it comes to friendships. And the problem with that, for me, is that I'm just so hyper-aware that, that dynamic's gonna change a little bit just from that time. It's not gonna be the same. You're gonna come back and elope and talk to each other as if you are the same people. The vibe probably won't alter. And that's because of that thing I talked about before. I often mention the 3 relationship pieces. There is the you, there is the them, and then there is the relationship. So the funny thing is, the you that you're portraying to them probably won't change. And then the them that they portray to you probably won't change. But the fact that you have not done any work to that relationship in however many years will change it, You may still be the same people. You may be different people. You may be portraying that you're the same people, but being different people. Who really cares at that point? But yeah, there's no way that you're just gonna feel the same way about them or the same way of talking about events that they weren't there for and acting like they were there for the. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be different. It has to be. It has to be if you're human. Things are not necessarily taken from us. I'd say it's sort of like the gray area of the lies of omission. It's like that gray area. Like, is a lie really a lie if we just didn't talk about it? And it's that kind of thing when you come back with someone. Like, is it really stolen valor if, I just happen to look at your social media accounts and then know you have a baby now or whatever, but didn't really talk to you about it, and I come to you like 3 years later, I'm like, oh, this is your kid. Is that stolen valor? Is that a lie of omission? To me, it all feels weird, which is why I have more of a sharp personality. I'm all new people from now on. Being real. Just because I value that silence, it's so damn golden to me that I never want to break it. And I'm happy with the endings I have. Like I said, I'm pretty much done. I'm checked out. I keep saying that every fucking episode. But there's a reason why I've just taken a back seat to life. Just resided to the background and been like, if I want to make it relatively far in my psyche, I have to take a step back and acknowledge that I'm not made for long-term, multiple connection. I don't want a huge friend group. I don't want, a huge roster of people I'm talking to. I can barely handle one because of the amount of neurosis and thinking I do over that one. And so, of course, that's not a good idea of how to, I don't know, date, elope, find friends nowadays that people say. You need all these sustenance angles or whatever. I don't fucking. Yeah, I do the same thing with YouTubers too, man. Like, I have maybe three or four YouTubers that I usually cycle through. At one point, it was like only Omni. Like, I remember that year, that was crazy. Like, he would upload one video a day. And I swear to you, I would not miss one of those. Sometimes I would watch them twice a day. Like, I would watch the Omni video in the morning from yesterday. And then I would watch the Omni video in the morning, or the afternoon from that day, you know what I'm saying? And then I'd be like, oh wait, but I forgot that one from the other day. So then I watch another Omni, you know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be like that, but I just get into phases of neurosis with people. And I feel like that's normal, or not neurosis, but like addiction, constant influx, but I feel like that's normal. I really don't like this whole, because if you ever go to a dating coach or someone who's like, yeah, you need to find, girls, so here's how you do it, buddy. You get a roster, and you have 8 girls on rotation. And I'm like, no, it just doesn't work like that for me, because I find that disgusting when girls do it. When I find out a girl has a roster, or even like another guy friend that's kind of orbiting her, I immediately get turned off. So why would I want to do that to girls, I know it's definitely the different for them. It's like I know girls like love for you to be able to cheat on them, and for you to be able to do all this other stuff. But there's a difference from being able to do it and actively putting emotional stock in other people. Like I just don't feel right about that. And a lot of things about this world, because we have the technology and we're so quote unquote connected. Can't see my fingers right now, but I'm doing the air quotes. Because we're so connected, a lot of people think that I have to constantly be in contact with you and being rapport back and forth, left and right. And honestly, if I'm being real, guys, I only talk to... That's gonna sound so misogynistic, but I mostly talk to women because guys don't really like me. And it's not just because I'm gay and I like dick, I like coca. Because most guys don't know that, because they don't need to know that. Because their dick is not the one I want. So, you know, if your dick is not the one I want, then you probably had no idea. Fantastic. But yeah, it's just not that reason entirely, I think. It's more of the fact that I'm seen as unwanted competition. Because, you know, it's not hard to tell that I don't really care about, you know, validation in the sexual marketplace at this point. And that makes me get more validated. And then the guys who do care get really pissed off. And then, you know, eventually it leads on to the people who don't really, you know, care about me at all. Like, I don't know, he's just a Marcus. And then, you know, some guy who's really mad at me gets, you know, his hands on that guy. And he's like, hey, this asshole, he did this, and he did this, and he did this. That's just how life works. I'm not mad at it. But because of that, you know, I tend to gravitate towards more females. And, you know, the reason why I don't talk to a lot of people in general is because I realize the fact that, man, I don't want to be that orbiter. I don't want to be the guy friend, you know, that everybody goes to, because I was that guy. I was that guy, the shoulder to cry on. I've got told, oh my gosh, you're such a good friend all the time, or you're such a good boy all the time. I hear it, man. This is not something you want to hear. This is not something you want to hear as any kind of guy. And I think this kind of leads into not the issue, but just the fact that I haven't really had a long-term girlfriend. Like, the longest I've had is 6 months. And that's because I don't like the whole possessiveness nature of it. Like, if I have someone, like, I'd still want to be able to not, like, associate with other people, but at least, like, you know, be in the presence of others. Like, I don't even have to text these people, you know? I just need a regular social environment to vibe in. And lately, I'm noticing that I really don't need the conversations. I can conversate completely through body language, you know, completely through, you know, like, visual stimuli, you know, happiness, smiles, waves, you know, a quick glance in my generation. We make eye contact. I give you the that's it. That's really all I need generally. So I'm noticing now that I've sort of cut off all this, I guess, superfluous. That's a good word. Superfluous conversation that I used to have. It's becoming a lot easier to just relax and not think to a crazy high amount about, you know, how I'm fucking over one situation, but, you know, aiding another situation, or how I'm aiding one situation but fucking over another situation. Generally, it ain't that deep. If you know, you know. But here we are, guys. This is the final dungeon. One of my favorite dungeons. I spent a lot of time grinding in here, so please indulge me while I just chill out, enjoy the music, the treasure chest, you know, the vibes. This dungeon is actually really, really great. This is probably one of my favorites in the game. It also, I think this is the only, well, no, I think they use this theme one more time in, like, version 4, 5. But yeah, this is, like, one of the only times they use this theme. Definitely the first time they use it for the first 3 versions. So, yes, indeed. Don't worry, we'll be making some music off of this. I just haven't found anything that really matches this yet. But, wow. Very, very good times. Very good design, too. And there are a few different parts to this dungeon. We have this first part where we collect the weapons. And the second part where we put the weapons on the pedestal. It's pretty cool. So enjoy that. I'll keep yapping on. About the platitudes, you know, the platitudes of relationships. A little tidbit about this dungeon: you have to find the right enemies for your weapon to unlock it. So these guys with their little fire faces, they are who I need to unlock that seal. As you can see, the seal has been unlocked. So what you gotta do that about 5 times, and then we're done. But yeah, guys, you gotta realize we all have our own lives. I feel like Sonder is one of the best feelings you can have if you're looking for a genuine, wholesome connection with someone. If you have Sonder and you recognize that this person is their own autonomous human being and they have a whole entire life to deal with besides you, you'll just be a lot more forgiving, a lot more accommodating, you know. You will take things less personally, hopefully. Because it's not really about you. That's the thing, guys. A lot of things people say have nothing to do with you. The crazy thing is nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. They are all incredibly, disgustingly self-serving. And so if you just take the stock off of that and realize it's nothing really matters, because, you know, I used to, you know, put so much stock and effort into my words and creations and things like that. When I realized, man, it's just like, it's all for me, and I don't really care. I don't really care. So the thing is, if I don't care, and I'm just having fun while I'm doing it, you know, then I really don't need to worry about the results, or worry about if someone takes it the wrong way, or worry about if someone is offended or whatever, man. Because, you know, I'm doing me. I am living the life that was chosen for me. Because I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't make a lot of choices nowadays. I am very much a headless, mindless gooner. You know, I decide what I want to do next that day, and then I fucking do it. You know, it's not that deep. I don't think it should be. I think the fact that life is so easy has made us, you know, reconsider everything, and now we think life is that deep, and it's kind of not, though. Actually, kind of not, though. Which is why I wish, you know, we maybe restricted more things nowadays. Maybe not as easy. You know, maybe you gotta rank up to get the food delivery access. Maybe you gotta rank up to get the, you know, the guns and the trans surgery or whatever. You know, maybe you gotta rank up for some of this shit. But no, yeah, renting a car though. What if renting a car, renting a fucking car? Beat that. Rent a car. Buy a gun. You cannot rent a car. Buy a car. Can't rent it. Can't rent it. I think that's I think there's a specific reason for that law that I looked up one time that was really dumb, but whatever. Nevertheless, we'll move on. A lot of things about this life are just generally unfair. And if you realize this and you relate it to the human experience, then you'll understand how, you know, some girl can take 12 hours to text you back, or randomly hit you up at 3 a.m. midnight and ask you to come over. You know, like life is just weird. They fuck you over in the strangest ways. We don't know anyone's story, nor do we want to. And yeah, a lot of people hate the idea of delayed gratification because it seems like it's very long. This whole life thing. Internet years are not normal years. You gotta remember that, guys. Internet moves way faster, which is why so many people are offing themselves at ridiculously crazy rates. Because of how fast the internet moves, man. People don't realize that delayed gratification is way more sustainable. And I'm not trying. Fuck that trying word. I am making history. You gotta say shit like that sometimes, man. You gotta say the bold shit in life, especially when we're on this journey, man. Because this YouTube shit takes no prisoners. It kills you. It's not gonna trap you, you know? It's definitely not gonna, you know, pamper you and treat you like royalty. It certainly won't take prisoners though. It won't hold you here. You know, nobody's strangling you and making you do your thing. you have to become the slave yourself, man. You have to be indignant and be like, fuck this. I am taking back what has been mine for my whole life. You gotta have that energy. Because the sad thing is no one will do it for you. I don't think that's a sad thing. For me, it's not a sad thing. You know, you can view it as a sad thing. If you'd like, you know, your entire worldview set up before you. Yeah, I view it as a sad thing. Personally, I like working. I do. I know I say that every episode, but it's just because I haven't been working a lot, so yeah. I mean, of course, I've been working out. You know, I've actually been getting more and more steps lately. I think last month I almost got up to 20K. Let me see that, because I really don't know what my amount for last month was. Last month was August. Miles, month, back. Let's see here. A little offhand workout talk here. Okay, so 150 miles last month. How many is that in steps? And in steps... That is... No, those are the damn heart points. God damn it. Oh, we did 335K steps. But it's the fact of efficiency and seeing my changes interacting in the world. That's what really gives you purpose, guys. You just have to start making moves and seeing that interaction take place in the world. And of course it gives you confidence, but there's more to life, there's more to women, there's more to relationships than just confidence. It's just, you know, the confidence is will hopefully convince you to not leave. You know, you'll at least know that you have valuable work to put on the world before you leave. But yeah, that's the thing, guys. A lot of people just don't value people, humans, connections, all that bullshit anymore. And it just depresses me to the point where I feel like a checkout is necessary. Or at least a stable grind, you know, to properly be able to connect with humans again. Because holy shit, a lot of us don't know how to. And people that do know how to, you don't want to connect with. They're old, disgusting, decrepit, they have terrible values. They don't care about money, they hate the youth. But yeah, man. My opinions are my opinions alone. And it is what it is. We actually have middle slide time going on, so we're gonna grind a little bit and come back. So we're back. We're back. A little bit of a higher level at this point as well. Gained about 6 levels on my pet. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I think we're gonna level up to 92 as well here, just a little bit. But yeah, man, it is quite a trial, quite a tribulation to just be strung along by people who say they sort of kind of have a care or an inkling of what you need or what you want in life, but they really don't, and they're just kind of self-serving. And once again, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like me loving to work is self-serving too, you know? Not even joking. Because who does the work really benefit at the end of the day? It benefits, of course, the corpo or whatever. But, you know, I get paid, I get confidence, I get competency, you know, I get the learning from it. And you just have to be grateful for the fact that you can, you know? The fact that you can flex that muscle. The fact that you have become an invaluable asset. And there's one thing about me that I learned very quickly in this working whole environment. You know, people really don't value what you do, but they do value those memories. From what I've noticed, a lot of people, and this is why I've had to, go a little crazy, go a little schizo, and just start blocking motherfuckers. But a lot of people do not like to give you your flowers while you're in the moment. They love to give you your flowers way after. And me, I'm human. I'm human. And when I get that, I'm not the happiest person. So because I'm human and I'm not the happiest person, what is my response? It's usually gonna be something mean, and I just don't like doing that, especially over text. I have to send something mean that I have to read over 8,000 times, and then deal with the repercussions of hell no. Hell fucking no. I'd rather avoid that fucking altercation before it even happens. And that's the thing about me, guys. I've never gone back to the same job twice, and I've had like over 10. So at this point, you're really worried you're not gonna have another job eventually? Like, no, we don't need these. We don't need these people. There's a manager or whatever that I don't want to talk to anymore. I'm just not gonna talk to them. I only hold frame, for those who actually have a place. And if I relate this to what I said last time, where the whole silence means golden things, it really does. But at the same time, if you have too high of neurosis or mental illness, I can understand why it may seem deafening and why you may need a way out. Just realize how you're doing it. There's a way to block people. I think I talked about this a little bit earlier on a Dean episode. We talked about VTuber drama. But there is definitely a block etiquette, and you can tell when people are blocking for attention or blocking for, safety and mental well-being. And honestly, guys, if I'm ever going to get attention, it has to be, on my terms, It doesn't have to be the rage bait bullshit. It's like, I'm so angry at you that I have to talk to you or whatever. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I have to interact with you because you forced me. You forced my hand. That sounds super dumb to me, personally. I prefer earned attention. I am not blind to the fact that I am not entitled to anyone's view, even your view. You are watching right now. At any point, you can click off to a more interesting, more well-crafted video. But for some reason, you're still here, which I value, of course. But I'm not entitled to that. Just because I upload doesn't mean I need views. Just because I make music doesn't mean it needs to be heard. And a lot of girls think just because they look good, they need to be fucked or lusted or wanted or fought for. The best relationships have no fights. They have conflicts, they have disagreements, but they do not have fights. Because I don't know about you, man, but me personally, I have the most fun in a video game, or any game for that matter, when I know what I'm doing, when I can communicate effectively with the controller, and I'm not I'm not like, what the fuck is happening, and I don't understand what the game is doing, and I don't know what the buttons are doing, and it's just frustrating, and Dark Souls sucks. I didn't say that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, Dark Souls can be fun when you learn the game, but that's everything, man. And that's why I really despise the whole, we gotta clap immediately. Like, you talk to a girl and then, you go over and talk to your boys later and she's like, did you smash? I'm like, can I learn the tutorial first, man? Like, what in the fuck? Can I get out of the guide? Can I get the first town and get a new weapon? Like, what the fuck are you talking? Smash? Drake? No, man. We need to bring back this human connection thing, like this understanding of people. And a lot of people need to not put so much stake into that, of just understanding how someone flows and interacts. We can't be like, to understand you, I must pay all your bills and take you out to Steak and Shake. Okay, take you out to Steak and Shake is probably not, it's not too much of an investment. But, pay all the bills, that's kind of crazy. I think I said Steak and Shake because a steak is a expensive entree. I don't know my thought behind that was. But anyways, we've got all the weapons! Yay! Let's go finish this dungeon. This is actually a pretty cool one. Right now, we are, because this is version 7 right now, right now we're actually doing a little dungeon that's close to this beautiful sword right here. I won't give too many details, but essentially we're going back to the old gods. And Nadraga was definitely slain by a god. Just happened to use that sword. And you may be thinking, that's a big sword. How big is Nadraga? Well, my little friend, you'll see. You'll see. Okay. So yeah, moving on. I'm pretty much done with this topic, though. If I'm being real, we've talked as much about love as I want to. You know, I'm very much ready to get off my soapbox, man. That's also a very good item we got there. The dew. I never use those. Being real. Little party heal. I'm really not one for using items in this game too much because, you know, it's not too difficult of an RPG, at least early on. But once we get to like version 5 and stuff, where the goal is right now, we'll probably have a little bit more trouble. Also, this boss, not the one we're about to fight right now, but the boss of this version, it gives me a little bit of trouble just because of the last form. And we'll get a couple of blooper reels from me dying to this asshole as well. It's also slightly my fault because I don't like having an overpowered team. I'm not a fan of that. As you can see right now, we have the level like 90 or so ranger. And still doing work. I'd say you probably need like 90 to level 100 for this version. Nothing too crazy, you know? And then version 4, maybe like 100 to like 110 or so. Nothing too crazy for that one either. But this is New Game Plus, so I really don't have too many characters that are that low level on my... You have low level characters on the other ones, but you know. Tis what it is. Tis what it is. Alright. So now we need to put all of the weapons on the correct pedestals. I believe I got the thing wrong one time. So, essentially, what you need to do is figure out which ones go where, which weapons are the right ones, and, you know, alright, do your thing. But yeah, I think we'll end this off after I get all the weapons on there. And then we'll probably just do the boss on the next one, you know? Have a good old time with good old Nadraga. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Who really knows, man? Maybe one day this game will have English voice acting. I probably am going to do a couple of episodes of version 4 with voice acting and just like record them live, because version 4 is one of the main reasons why I decided to replay this game 2 times. Because the story there, I don't know if it's just like translation or whatever, but like, holy shit, what the fuck? It tries to be like a parody of a very popular movie franchise, but I feel like it kind of goes off the rails very quickly, extremely quickly. And I'm gonna try and pick it apart, break it down a little bit so you guys can understand it as well as me, because that's one thing that I just felt was very unfinished. And then you go to version 5 and the story is fucking... I feel like version 5, they just kind of, they went with something not more original, but, you know, just something closer to what they're used to, as far as, like, Japanese Dragon Quest storytelling kind of thing. And I don't know, version 4 just seems very, very forced, like they tried to connect version 2 and all this Stultia shit way too hard. It just came off as awkward. And I kind of think the same thing about 6, but then 7, you know, comes along and is like, hey man, we about to get this shit popping. So 7 has really impressed me so far. I'm only on point 3. I'm in the middle of point 3. And right now they're finishing up point 4. They got the new class there and everything as well. So also, this is an example of what happens when you put the wrong weapon there. It actually falls off, and you have to go collect it from the bottom portion of this area. So it's pretty cool. There are enemies down there too. I don't know why they're not spawning right now in the cutscene. But yeah. So it does matter. You have to put the right ones on the right things, and then they'll tell you a little bit about it on the thing. You know, just have to not guess correctly, but properly estimate, I suppose. You can see all these statues are very old and very broken, but this is a little bit of a copy of the first area where we choose our race, essentially, from version 1, if you recall. It's a little bit of a remix of that area, and we will go back. If you forget what it looks like, we'll go back to that area as well. Later on, I think we'll do that next part when we go to we'll do that next part when we go to the final area of this game. This particular phrase. Yeah, man, but it's a crazy world that we live in. Right now, a lot of things seem backwards, but I assure you guys, this is exactly how they planned for it to be. We are all according to the bullshit. And it really depressed me a little bit that I was so blind to it before, but I mean, that was the goal, man. They didn't want us to know what was actually happening. They didn't want us to know that this internet that they were introducing to us, all these wonderful things like food delivery, and, Amazon delivery, online schools, the convenience of online job applications, the convenience of Google AI search, the convenience of online dating, which is now, by the way, how most people date. 65%? Depressing. Actually, legitimately. Because me personally, I cannot stand talking to anyone through a phone. Unless it's like, let's go right here. This is the meetup spot. Boom. That's it. So that's literally the highest extent I can do. Without fucking crashing out. Because Jesus, man, this is just the way my brain works. I put way too much stock into things that just don't fucking matter. Like this game, like my theories, like my world models. And then I get pissed off when my world models don't add up. And guess what, man? They never fucking do. They never fucking do! Like, I don't know why you would expect something that's gone wrong 99% of the time to go right. The 1%, But I do. Every time. It's not like I'm gonna stop making them. I realize I do like making them, even though they, always blow up in my face. I'm always going to think of what happens and imagine like 8,000 scenarios before I do it. That's just me, man. That's literally just me. And to get rid of that part of me, I'd probably need some horrible drugs. They'd probably make me very sleepy, and they'd probably make me very unfeeling and very unfun. And I'm good, man. I'm good. We've been down that road before. Honestly, if I'm not hurting anybody else, I'm fine. And right now, we're still on the not hurting anybody else train. Of course, I have to watch myself when I actually start associating with human beings again. But that's the thing, guys. We have to be our own conscientious observers. And just understand what we really need. And I think it all comes back down to listening to ourselves. It may seem like all this media and all these distractions are fantastic and they are just what you need, and I love music and I love YouTube and I love TikTok. But at the same time, we need it a couple times. We need a couple moments a day to just sit back and listen to what the fuck you are saying. To yourself, to your mind. I know a lot of people don't have inner dialogues, but hey, man, maybe it's time to start developing some shit so that you don't crash out on Twitter. Why not crash out in your own mind and not be, on the public stage and have to delete your social media for something? Don't even talk to a friend. Go on a walk, man. Sometimes your friends really aren't there for you. And like I've said, man, the silence to me feels way better. Way better than talking to all these people that I do potentially love, I do potentially care for a lot. But you gotta realize time brings the ultimate clarity that we should all strive for, you know? This is 2025, this is year of the truth, right? So let's make a name for ourselves, you know? Let's truly figure out where our place is in this world, you know? Quarter century already done, so time is running out. Alright, that's the end of this dungeon. I appreciate you guys sticking by me for this long, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a pretty crazy year so far. Got about 3 more months. We're at the beginning of September. Let's keep on trucking. I love you guys. Give a little sub if you love. Like if you like. And I'll see you next time.
Low-key, I might be there. If he on the feedback, almost got it done, but son shit to get the feedback. Out of gas, niggas' shoulders, they could drop a tear on. But when my eyes get muggy, niggas get they disappear on. Fuck the how, I ain't tryna shake no hands. Had to change a heart, then I popped out of your man's fam. Okay, that nigga gon' get clear today. Today. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama them. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama them. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama them. Get it out, spit it out, get it out. Rowdy. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama. Get it out, spit it out, get it out, that's on my mama them.